everyone, and welcome back to the Dwarven Tavern. I am Dr. Jeff Goins, your host for this, and this is a review of another wonderful work from John Brazier. It has B-R-A-Z-E-R, okay, and it could be, and it's probably Brazier. It might be Brazier, it might be Brazier. I'm just going to have to guess. I'm going to guess and say Brazier. Forgive me, I'm not being disrespectful on purpose, ever. So, this is called The Book of Heroic Races, Advanced Compendium, and it is for Pathfinder role-playing game compatible. And this is, if I remember correctly, it's first ed Pathfinder. And this has, I remember that because I was on Twitter with Paizo, and I had asked them if they were still making stuff for first edition or if their sole output now was going to be second edition, and they said they are only putting out second edition, but there are other people who are doing first edition stuff. And then this wonderful fella contacted me and said, would you like to review this? I believe that's how it went. And I said, yeah, absolutely. You know, I love reviewing third-party stuff. And he sent me this, and lo and behold, it's wonderful. So this is a book of races, very obviously, and it's about 241 pages, counting the three appendices. So what do we have here? Well, it's a book of races. It has advanced androids, catfolk, changeling, elans, gillmen, lizard folk, merfolk, and these are all advanced. Samsarans, not samsarans, samsarans over there. Skinwalkers, Tengu, weirwoods, and Weirvans, or Weirverans, or Wireverans, or Fnurfnur. It all depends on how you'd like to pronounce it, innit? So, what are advanced androids? They have, in this book, they have all of the racial traits, like the +2 dex, +2 intelligence, -2 charisma. They're humanoids. All of the stats are clearly listed. And, you know, one of the other things that I like about this is it's printed on a non-glossy paper, which makes it super easy on the eyeballs. Easy on the eyeballs. And it has everything you need to know about androids, the advanced androids, alternate racial traits, society and lands, alignment and religion, etc., arts and crafts, like macrame, tattoos, circuitry tattoos. They're skilled tattoo artists. Yeah, arts and crafts is legitimately arts and crafts. Then it has a height and weight table, random starting age, aging effects, and everything you need to know. Living weapon, racial archetypes, such as the associated class as brawler. So yeah, if my knuckles were made of metal instead of stone, I'd probably be clacking up some jawbones too. I have in my life because of my thing. My bones are actually denser than normal human bones. So brag. It also has the racial archetypes. Okay, so here's the thing. When I reviewed Dungeon Crawl Classic, I really strongly disliked, and a lot of people disagreed with me, that's fine, whatever. But I strongly disagreed with the leveling up as a dwarf or an elf. A 5th level dwarf. 5th level dwarven what? Well, dwarves have their own thing that they like to do. They like to work with stone. They like to work with metal. They like to carve out huge, beautiful cathedral-like things. But having a high-level dwarf, I just didn't like it. I like having the freedom. I don't like being pigeonholed in anything. I don't like to say, because there's also a large controversy right now about whether races are inherently evil, and I say yes, some of them are, because, you know, in the real world, no, there's no such thing as somebody, like, it's just like saying that there's no good pit bull. That's bullshit, straight up. Everything that doggy does is based on how its owner trained it, and ad infinitum, you know, that's just how it is. And it's the same way with people. People can be indoctrinated from a child to either hate or love, and it just depends on how you raise them. Now, that's a real world, right? In the fantasy world, there are races of beings that were alchemically concocted by evil psychotic wizards or whatever, or had the gods step in. You know, Loki created a race of whatever, and they every fucking one of them, every single one of them is evil. And then you also have mutations from the race that was originally created to that, well, maybe this one's not good. So this book, as I undigress myself, this book adds a thing of racial archetypes, which is like the living weapon, or the nanoshade, or the thought scribe, or the wire mind. These are all things that androids can do because they're androids. I like that. That I like, because that gives you the freedom to choose what you want to be, and it doesn't say that you're not a third level android. You're a third level living weapon because they punch things with their titanium knuckles. Or a thought scribe, which is someone who can make psionic tattoos, and so forth and so on. So that is one of the wonders of this book that I really enjoy. So the entry for the advanced android is from page 5 to page 21. So that's quite a few pages of upping your game as an android player, if you like playing androids, if you allow that. Some people don't like to put any kind of technology in fantasy and vice versa. So I mean, because right now we're playing a Starfinder campaign in which there's no magic because it's science. It's science fiction, and Tavernier Ian, who is running this particular game, does not like to mix them, and that's fine. And it's working out just fine. So, and the Catfolk, the entry for the Catfolk it's the same format. So the artwork is decent. It gives some very timely and very well placed. It doesn't have a lot of illustrations, but the illustrations that are there they're wonderful. I like them. And then you've got advanced changelings and their racial traits and their racial archetypes and spells, new spells, and racial magic, and how to play an NPC of whatever. And it goes throughout and does all of the races that it covered, and I mentioned those earlier, in that very way. So it's very detailed. I love it for what they have done. They kept the Pathfinder format for designating things like religions, and the title bar with the information below it in order to cordon off each individual thing. It's the same format as Pathfinder books, which is really cool. So I've seen other books that break from the traditional thing that if it's a third party and they're making something for Pathfinder or D&D or whatever, and they deviate from how the other books look, like the old Traveler books or the D&D books, whatever. And there's just a degree of not coolness about it that I don't like, and they have not done that. They've stuck to the Pathfinder format, which makes it fit right in that bookshelf right next to the other Pathfinder books, which I really I like it and I appreciate it. So we also have in the appendix are the favored class options for the various classes, the android and the catfolk, so forth and so on. So overall, racial technology for android and catfolk, the Elan and the Samsaran, tech feats, spells and powers, new spells, and then of course the index. So what do I think of this book? Well, it's very well done. It's very well done. It has 125 new character class options, 93 new feats, 84 magic items, 61 new spells and psionic powers, 23 new deities and philosophies, 12 different races, 60 alternate racial traits, and 49 character traits, so you can customize your character. That is quite a bit. That is quite a bit. And once again, I applaud these guys because this is very, very well thought out, and very, as is my observation, my criteria for how many axes I go for form and function, which the form it's beautiful. It's beautifully laid out. The artwork is fine. The artwork is really good, professional, and the format is in holding with the other Paizo books. This is not Paizo. This is John Brazier and Enterprises, JBE, and you can look him up at johnbrazier.com and ask him how he pronounces his last name. And so, is it creative? Hell yeah! I mean, it's really creative. It's super creative. I like it. Is it original? Yes, it is very much so, because it's giving new stuff that's not just a rehash of the old stuff. It's taking races that exist and giving them more weight, giving them more options, which I love. I love more options. It looks good. It's original. It's creative. So yeah. I am definitely giving this one 5 axes, because I am very pleasantly surprised that a third party is very thorough, very detailed, and highly recommend it. I don't know how much it is, again, so that's a pain to do that, but it's not worth taking any axes away from them. So that is the Book of Heroic Races Advanced Compendium from John Brazier. I'm going to say it again, probably incorrectly. And so you can look them up at johnbrazier.com. That's BRAZER.com. And tell them Dwarven Tavern sent you, and they might let you buy something. 5 axes. Look them up, get it, add it to your game. So, with that being said, I am Dr. Jeff Goins, and on behalf of the entire cast and crew of the Dwarven Tavern, we wish for you to want for nothing but adventure. At first I feared it, then I charged. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.